Savages, let's face it, chicken breast is boring. It's dry. It's annoying to prep. And frankly, if you eat too much of it, life starts to feel really, really sad. But it's a great staple in people's lives when trying to tone up and lose fat because it's packed with muscle building protein. It helps you feel fuller, longer. And because of something called the thermic effect of food, it allows you to burn more calories than you would, say, eating a piece of fatty bacon or some chips or ice cream. Every 100 calories of protein you eat, 20 to 30 of those calories is just going to digesting the food. So really net, you're consuming only about 70 calories. Protein's like the passive income of food. That might not make any sense. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to make drop and go Thai chicken Penang in the Instant Pot. If you're a vegetarian or pescatarian, you can swap this out for tofu or fish. If it's chicken, you can store it for up to 5 days in the fridge or up to 3 months in the freezer. Or if you're prepping dinner for the family, you can prep it in about 20 minutes and just eat the whole thing right there. If you've never had Thai food before, first of all, where have you been? You're gonna love this because it's all the things. It's just enough savory, just enough sweet, minimal prep time, and minimal dishes. At the end of this video, I'm gonna be comparing my chicken Penang to the chicken Penang you'd get at a restaurant, which ends up being about 472 calories per 100 gram serving, which is not a lot. That's like 3.5 ounces. And I'll give you my honest opinion. Would I rather have the restaurant dish? Is it worth the calories? Or would I rather have my Instant Pot dish for less than half the calories? So let's get into this super simple recipe. First thing you'll need is your Instant Pot. I've got mine right here. It does great. I'll link what I have below on Amazon. I went for the 8-quart version because I like to batch and cook a lot of food. If you're a single guy or gal, you can probably get away with the 6-quart version and be happy. But if you're kind of on the more meal prepping, batch and go side, I'd go for the 8-quart version. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set our Instant Pot to the sauté mode and we're gonna spray the inside with just a little bit of light oil. I got my spray bottle of oil here. I got some questions about this little bottle in the last video. I got it off of Amazon and I find these bottles to be a little bit more attractive and cheaper than getting those like spray cans. And so what I do is I'll just take this like little, I don't know how much it costs off Amazon, and I'll just fill it with olive oil I get from Costco and I end up saving money. Yeah, I mean, why not save some money over the course of your lifetime and spend that money on, you know, great things like, I don't know, what are the great things? I don't know, my thing is massages. I spend a ton of money on massages. After you sprayed your pan, it's a good time to drop in your coconut milk. The thing that's gonna make this a lot leaner than a restaurant version is we're gonna be using light coconut milk. The trade-off here is that because we're using lighter version coconut milk, not like the full fat version, it's not gonna be as thick in terms of the creaminess, but the flavor will still be there. So we're gonna open up our can and we're gonna dump the whole thing in there. So my can of light coconut milk, I just got off Whole Foods, and it is about, 50 calories per 1/3 cup. And there's 5 servings per container. I'm dumping the whole bad boy in there. Next thing we're gonna add is a serving of our Penang curry sauce. I also picked this up at Whole Foods. It's about 140 calories per 114 grams or half cup. I'm gonna measure out a half cup on my food scale. When it comes to these measurements, I always like to take what's called the negative because you get a more precise measurement. So I set my setting on my food scale to grams. I'm gonna scoop out 140 grams here. Oh my God, I hope we have 140 grams. The issue is that I have a husband in the house and my husband just like eats everything randomly all the time. And so I never know what I'm gonna be able to prep for these videos. I have to like hide food from him and like do this whole song and dance. He eats everything. I mean, I guess it says the food is good that I'm doing. Okay, I'm just gonna scoop in this whole thing in here because we're just barely hitting 114 grams. Okay, so I think I got 114 grams in there. Next thing we're gonna add to the Instant Pot is fish sauce or oyster sauce. Now this is a very salty thing. If you're not into salt in your dishes, I would not add additional salt to this recipe and just go with your fish sauce or your oyster sauce. Soy sauce also does the job, but it's not gonna taste as good. So I'm gonna be using an oyster sauce here. This is the brand. And I'm only gonna be doing 1 tablespoon, which ends up being about 14.3 grams. So this is what the Instant Pot's currently looking like. We're gonna stir it around so that the sauce gets all mixed on in here. Then we're gonna be adding our brown sugar and peanut butter sauce. For my brown sugar, I have this Truvia brand of brown sugar. It's only about 10 calories per 4 grams. I'm gonna be using a total of 27 grams for this recipe. And then the last thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be adding our peanut butter mixture. Everyone knows a good Penang has a little bit of peanut butter sauce inside. That's what makes it so good. But we're gonna be adding 32 grams of PBFit, pre-mixing it up in here and then plopping it in here instead of using real peanut butter. This saves a good amount of calories because, as we know, peanut butter is very calorically dense. If you wanna use peanut butter, real peanut butter, you can totally go ahead and do that. It's just not as lean, up to your personal preference. I use a lot of PBFit. We're gonna be using 32 grams of PBFit. So we'll measure out our 32 grams of PBFit and then we will pre-mix that PBFit. Ooh, just using my fingers here and I just got it everywhere. That's the joy of cooking though, right? And then as you know, when you go to add your water to your powdered peanut butter to make it more of a peanut buttery consistency, what you wanna always do is you wanna go as slow as possible. Add a little bit of water at a time. Otherwise you end up with like a huge soupy mess and it's not good. Here you can see I got my peanut butter mixture here. I'm just gonna dump the whole thing into my Instant Pot. Here's what it's looking like right now, and I'm just gonna mix all this in to the Instant Pot, which is currently sauteing. Once you have your full-blown sauce mixture in here, this is when we add our chicken breast, but I always go for thin slice. If you have a full-blown chicken breast, you're gonna wanna cut it into thinner slices because it's gonna cook better with the instructions that I give you in this recipe. So I got my chicken breast inside. I'm just gonna make sure that all the sauce is covering the chicken breast. Once that's done, I'm gonna cover it with my lid, put it on high pressure for about 3 minutes. Oh, the other great part about this recipe is that you can throw vegetables inside. Good vegetables to throw inside are broccoli. I'll typically throw frozen broccoli inside. You could do baby carrots. I wouldn't do actual carrots because the flavoring is just too strong. I wouldn't do onions. Try bell pepper or green beans. The other note I would like to make is that if you're doing this like as a family dinner recipe, start with your rice because it's gonna take longer than this bad boy. So I would throw your rice in the rice cooker or on the pot and get that cooking before this. So we're gonna close our Instant Pot. If you've never used an Instant Pot, I know it can be scary, but then you're gonna make sure that your little venting thing right here is on, not venting, it's on sealing, because that's what makes it cook. Make sure that we do pressure cook, and we're gonna set it to 3 minutes on high pressure. Okay, so while this is cooking right over here, I'm just gonna be measuring out my restaurant bought chicken Penang, and I'll just give you guys a little bit of a life update.
Nobody cared.
I'm moving. Next time I think you guys see me in a new video, I'm gonna be in a different kitchen, more space, which is gonna be great, so that I can hopefully start making better videos. It's gonna be a lot of cooking recipe videos, but then some other fun stuff, but like check this out. That is really creamy looking. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm telling you that the trade-off there is the creaminess, because they're using more fat, because fat is 9 calories per gram. You're just getting more calories in there. While I do not like moving, I do like fresh starts and I do like new things. I feel like there's nothing like being in a new space to kind of refresh your energy. I'm excited to see what this new chapter in our lives brings, what it brings for the videos and for you guys. The cookbook, which I told you guys that I'm gonna be launching and that I've been working on, so thank you for everyone who signed up to be on the wait list for that. And I'm so excited to share it with you because it's really been a labor of love and just trying to figure out how to like basically just like feed my inner fat kid. The other kind of life update is, for the first time on this channel, I'm starting to get a lot more negative comments. And at first I was like, oh my God, I have to like censor myself and tone it down and be more politically correct. But then I was like, you know what? Like, no, that's not who I am. And I'm not doing this channel for somebody else. I'm doing this channel for Juliana 10 years ago. This is what would have worked for me. And so while I'm going to offend people along the way, just being who I am, that's not my intention. Like, you're never gonna make everyone happy. Okay, so we cook. We're gonna do our pressure release to venting. I know, it's terrifying. Moment of truth right here. We've got our 2 chicken Penangs going on. Which one is gonna taste better? Let's see. I'm going in for the restaurant version. They definitely made it spicier than my version. I kind of had the family in mind when I was making mine. Let's go in for my version. You guys, I think I did a really good job. First off, the restaurant version sauce is significantly creamier because they're probably using more fat. But in terms of flavor, chicken consistency and moisture. I know we all don't like the word moisture, but man, this is really good. I don't know why anyone would ever want to go for the restaurant version when they could just make this at home. I kind of killed this.
Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet.
I'm gonna dock some points for myself on the creaminess factor, but there's really no way around that. I think if I were to experiment with this again, the one thing that I would do is I would try adding some xanthan gum, which is a thickening agent, to the home style version to maybe see if it brings out the thickening version. We'll see if I do that in the cookbook, because that's gonna be where the final version will be. But man, for now, this is good. This is really freaking good. I am impressed with myself. Normally I do these videos and I'm just like, yeah, the restaurant version's better, but like you're saving half the calories, blah, blah, blah. But after trying this, I'm just like, you know what? Nope. Considering time, how much it takes to get this delivered, considering money, considering dishes, considering taste. When I put it side to side with the restaurant version, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is good. I win this time. Give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Love you guys. See you soon.